Good morning, guys. All right, so here is our night drive with the LEDs. Again, I made videos on all of them, so you can see how bright those are now, lighting up the whole bed. I mean, it's legitimately lit up on both ends now. That looking good there. We're gonna go on our drive here, so you can see those taillights are way brighter. I mean, that looks like the brake lights are actually on. I made videos on how to install all these, links on where to get them. It seems so far that it's working with the auto high beams. So alright, so we're just going to take the exact same drive we did the other day, so that way you guys can basically pause the video, compare the lighting. For the most part, should be about the same. So we're going to go by this tree. And basically show you the light bounce back now. Shut those off. And then just go fog lamps. So you can see that right there. Come back in at the headlights, and that's low beam. All right. So if you guys have watched any of the videos on the installs are fairly easy. I tried to lay it out as easily as I could for everybody. Tools you'll need, bulbs you'll need. And like I said before, sometimes it feels a little odd taking a brand new truck and lights that aren't bad and swapping them out. Some people really enjoy tweaking their truck and making things nice. But some people are like, 5 years ago, I would never want to take a new vehicle apart to add anything to it, unless it was adding onto it like a tonneau or something, a hitch, I get that. But I was really not interested in pulling apart panels and whatnot. So the way I did the install, it made it much easier, I think, for most people. If you've seen some other videos out there, I wanted to see kind of what other people were putting out there, and they were taking apart their whole front clip and pulling out the whole headlight. I can't imagine that's what Ford's intent was, so I found the way that I'm sure that they're actually using to do these lights. So that way there's very minimal intrusion to the body panels or pieces and trim and everything like that. Alright, as you can kind of see, you can see that the white light now seems to be kind of going over here further to the left. Obviously, if we're sitting on the right, I think we'd see it more on the right than the standard halogens. And again, after you do this upgrade, especially if you buy most of the stuff on the Zon, if you don't like it or have an issue with it and it's a prime thing, you can just send it back. You can take it out and put it back if you don't like it. But the light is way more crisp, and it picks up things. Now, after seeing how nice it looked this morning with all the LEDs, the only other LEDs that I have on order that we will be swapping out will be the reverse lights. The reason being is the brighter the light we have for that backup camera, the clearer it's going to be. So I've kind of dinged the backup camera on this a little bit before, because it's at night, it's just okay. But that has to do a lot with the light, because right now, even with the taillights being brighter, they're helping that camera pick up more light, so that's good. So we'll be swapping those out. But as for the blinkers, I'm not going to do that, because I don't want to mess with resistors and CAN buses and all that stuff when it comes to the hyper flash. I can still see when I'm at the stoplight, the blinker actually illuminating the sign up above, so I know that the front headlights are not over saturating the turn signal light. So we're just going to leave that, so I won't be pulling those apart again to do that. But if you want to do those blinkers, I will put a link in there. They're about $45 a set, because they have built-in CAN buses and resistors to make the hyper flash non-existent. Because if people don't know what hyper flash is, basically it's when the system here detects that the light bulb might be out because it's not understanding what the LEDs are doing. And on the outside, it's usually pulsing the same as normal, but not always. Sometimes it's hyper fast, like that'll be. So that's what that all means. way. The way Ford actually designed the headlights on this base model, I mean, it uses the amount of light that the bulbs are creating very well. So this is that street that we came down, so you can see how the light's kind of filling up the whole roadway, which is nice, especially when you get out in rural areas where there's more wildlife, because you'll be able to pick up those dancing marbles, what I call them, is when the light hits their eyes and they're running around. It helps you know that something's coming your way. But are these lights as bright as factory LEDs? I don't think so. But you know, they are substantially brighter. I'd say at least 3 times brighter than the OEM ones that were just, like I said, HID bulbs, halogens. So again, it is bouncing that. You can see my blue indicator down there for the auto high beams. Seems to be working. Again, I would go back to stock lights if this played tricks on the auto high beams, but so far so good. And the reason why I showed you the city driving portion of it is because a lot of times your lights feel like they get washed out with all the ambient light around. So I just wanted to show you what it basically looked like with both situations. So if you go back, pause the video and see where the original headlights picked up all these signs down here at the bottom and how far they're illuminating, I can actually see a small delineator down this dude's driveway with these headlights. Before I didn't. That's the standard, and there's the high beams. Again, high beam, auto high beam functionality is just as good as it was before. It's reading other people's headlights and shutting it down. All right, so there's that turn we saw in the last video where we had those little curb signs. Those lit up underneath the bridge, so that's definitely a welcome extension. We're probably talking another 75 yards. So again, the video is going to be a little bit long because this drive was long, because I wanted to give it as many opportunities to show different angles and curves and how, you know, it's darker in some areas and whatnot. So light reflects. So we can see down there, those curve signs already lit up, and then I can actually see down around the corner some delineators. And I'm already picking up the stop sign, so that's pretty good. But this way you can just fast forward to wherever you want to compare the videos. You can open up a whole nother browser window, put that other video right against it, shut off the lights in your office or wherever you're watching, so that way you can get the best lighting on it and then kind of see. So overall, pretty pleased with how everything turned out. The taillights are substantially brighter, which I like that, especially because the other ones, I wouldn't call them dim, but where I park my truck in my driveway and look out through my closet at night to make sure I lock it, the taillights, you couldn't see that they were on from the side. Now the LED ones from the factory, you could, and I don't know why that is, but they just, you never really could tell the taillights were on when it's warming up. And when I hit the lock button with these bad boys, those things lit up really, really well. So, and you can see them from the side now. So I'm all about having extra light for safety, for other people to see me, you know. And that way nobody can say, well, I didn't see your taillights. I know you can now, because you can see them before. You definitely can see them now. And like I said, the headlights are really nice. Especially for the price point. I mean, you're talking the headlight bulbs were only, I think there was a 5% off coupon, so 26 bucks a set. That's not bad. I know there's other sets out there that may be brighter or better or whatever, but you're talking hundreds of dollars. And you know, if you're like me, you're kind of like, well, I'm already taking out brand new $8, $9 bulbs just to set aside and put these ones in, so it may seem a little bit more reasonable. I'm all about bang for buck. I don't care if the name on there is a name brand or an off brand. As long as it has decent quality, I'm good with. And I don't know if you'll be able, you probably can't see it, but coming up you can already see my flasher was, you know, bouncing back off of that two-way sign there. And that's the reason why I probably won't swap that out if that's bright enough for that. That running light's plenty bright enough. So we're rounding out the thing. We'll get back in the driveway. I'm going to show you some of the hot points on the actual garage door itself, just so you can kind of compare those. And then just shy of that, that's it, guys. Like I said, all the videos are out there on how to do it. Got some other content coming up in regards to, I got some requests on how to buy a car, things to look for. If you guys don't know, I actually used to be a fleet manager at a dealership, both Ford and Chevy I worked at, and I also worked for Ram and Chrysler. So, you know, can give you guys some pointers if you're out there looking for a new rig. Again, these are just some of the videos that people have requested, so those will come out and everything. All right, we'll see you in a second. Get those hot spots. All right, last but not least, there is the hot spot. So yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. So let's go do one more walk around. Again, super bright there for the whole bed. Then we come back here. And like I said, the older videos of the license plate lights, but all these are super easy. You can tackle them all in about a few hours on the weekend. And again, I did do this bulb here as an LED. It is brighter, but I'm gonna leave this one here as incandescent until it burns out. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Please just subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get updates on my new content that's coming up. Take care.